Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a good time like always. I hope everybody's safe during this time with the quarantine, and there's a lot of spikes, numbers going up in coronavirus cases. It has been getting a little bit bad here in Canada in BC, so there's been a spike. There's a lot of new restrictions. So let me know in the comments, how are things in India if you're watching from India, and what are some of the measures that you guys are taking during this time. I've been a little bit busy for the last couple of days, but I want to say thank you to all the people that have been sending such positive feedback, great comments, great recommendation, and to all you guys that have been sharing all of your knowledge, about the world and India and just any topic and sharing that with me. So I appreciate all you guys' efforts. Today's recommendation was made by Narendra, and guess what, guys? The title sounds insane, man. It says how Britain stole $45 trillion from India with trains. You guys, just reading that, it's like such an upsetting title because it says they stole $45 trillion from like another country, right? So that sounds kind of insane. That's a lot of money, man. So I'm excited to check out this video. Probably some good information, some things for us to learn. I have a question for you guys, and we're gonna check the answer at the end of this video. Please put your answers in the comment because I'm curious to see who knows the answer. So the question is, when did the British arrive in India? So I want you to pause right now, put the answer down, and we'll see at the end of the video which one of you guys gets it right. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now so we can get on to the video. But before I continue, guys, if you like this, please drop a like, and as always, hit that subscribe button right around here so that we can continue making more videos, and it helps me a lot, so I would appreciate that. So yeah, guys, let's get straight on to the video.
There is a kind of half-assed liberal idea that while colonialism wasn't great, at least Britain gave India the trains. And maybe that's something they should be thankful for. After all, trains are pretty useful, especially in the 7th largest country on Earth. So,
7th largest country.
Maybe not all that bad. Unfortunately, Britain also stole $45 trillion from India.
You guys, did you know about this $45 trillion? $45 trillion, man. That is an insane amount of money, man. Holy moly.
The while exploiting religious divisions between the Hindu and Muslim communities and further turning them against each other. And those beloved railways, they became the sites of mass slaughter while Britain sat back and watched. Empires of Dirt, a show about Europeans getting rich at the expense of everyone else. Britain first got involved in India through the East India Company, which had its headquarters right here on Leadenhall Street. A private company owned by London stockholders, the East India Company grew over the next 300 years to become a quasi-governmental body with its own army and laws, responsible for trading spices, cotton, silk, and tea all over the world. By 1858, ownership of the East India Company had been transferred to Queen Victoria after the failed Indian Rebellion. Trains were the brainchild of British engineers. The East India Company would use railways to transport exploited resources like cotton and coal more efficiently around India. And it worked. Between 1853 and 1924, a railway network was created to help Britain extract from India relentlessly. And it's not like we gave India the railways either, by the way. We made India pay for them, and we ripped them off in the process. Despite Indian mechanics having...
Yo, you guys, that just sounds so wrong, man. So, like, it just sounds wrong, right? Like, make you pay for the railroad. They build it to exploit it and, like, take the resources and then make the country pay for the trains. That's some next level stuff, man. What?
Their own efficient, cheap designs, Britain made India buy trains from them. Between 1854 and 1947, over 14,000 locomotives were imported from the UK to India. Initially, Indians weren't even allowed to work on the trains. They were staffed entirely by white people, from the board directors to the ticket collectors. The railways made little profit, but British shareholders who invested in its construction made vast returns, guaranteed at the expense of Indian taxpayers who had to pay for it. India's railways were basically like someone burgling your house, building a ramp to wheel all your stuff out, sending you a bill for that ramp, and expecting a round of applause at the end of it. Now that the railways were
Okay, the way that she explained that situation is insane, man, and that's exactly what happened, and that's the crazy part. Holy smokes!
built, Britain could get down to the task at hand, squeezing India for every last ounce of profit. They were really good at it. In the 1600s, when the East India Company was established, Britain accounted for less than 2% of the world's GDP, while India accounted for almost a quarter of it. By the 18th century, Britain had become one of the most powerful empires in the world, while the prosperity of the Mughal Empire was fading fast. Britain relentlessly squeezed India for every last bit of resource for its own uses. In 1943, up to 4 million Bengalis starved to death, partly because their food was diverted towards British soldiers during World War II. Winston Churchill said the famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits. After it was no longer profitable to remain in India, and after receiving huge pressure from the Indian independence movement, the British finally left in 1947. Before they went, they split the country into two: Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan, in an act that became known as Partition. But in their haste to get out of the country, British diplomats arranged a shoddy partition agreement that ignored the fact there would be interreligious conflict. Cyril Radcliffe, the British lawyer assigned to draw the borders of Pakistan and India, was given 40 days to do it. After partition, millions of Muslims trekked to Pakistan in what is now known as Bangladesh, while Indians and Sikhs headed the other way. Violence between Pakistan and India ensued. Within a year of the British leaving, 15 million people were displaced, and between 1 and 2 million people were dead. Trains became the sites for mass murder during the migration. Trains filled with refugees crossing the border on each side were stopped, and everyone on board was murdered. Women were captured and raped. Carriages were set on fire with petrol, with people still inside. The only ones spared were the drivers, so they could transport their trains full of dead bodies to the final destination. The British...
That's just so sad to hear that description, right? So I hope one day everybody on this earth get to live with each other in unity and in peace and acceptance, but there's so much greed, right? And there's so much of these influence where there's this violence, right? So hopefully I hope for one day that there will be peace and everybody will be able to live together and help each other as a community, so that we can advance human civilization.
Knew about the train massacres, but they'd already washed their hands clean of India. Prime Minister Clement Attlee, writing to Lord Mountbatten, the last Viceroy of India in 1947, said, "Keep India united if you can. If not, save something from the wreck. In any case, get Britain out." Despite all this, the 4 million starved to death, the careless partition, the $45 trillion they stole from the Indian people, many don't think that the British did anything wrong in India. A YouGov poll in 2014 found that 59% of respondents thought the British Empire was something to be proud of, and only 19% were ashamed of its misdeeds. Trains, cricket, empire. What could possibly be wrong with that?
Wow. Wow. Holy smokes, man. That was such a crazy video, man. Like, there was a lot going on from beginning. Such a short video, but there was a lot going on from the beginning to the end of the history, the timeline. Lots of violence involved, man. Like that 4.5 billion Bengalis. I don't know, but I guess Bangladesh people. But yeah, he said 4.5 Bengalis starved, man. Holy smokes, and the violence and the people dying, and then at the end, like, they're blaming the people. That was just insane, man. And it's unfortunate. It's like that around the world. Like a lot of places, right? Like small countries and things like that. They kind of get exploited. So their resources and things like that, and the people suffer, man. It's always the poor people that are suffering. So wow, man, 45 trillion. So earlier in the video I asked you guys a question about when did you guys think that the British arrived in India. So let's check it out, see who's right. So I googled this, and it says the British landed on Indian subcontinent at the port of Surat on August 24th of 1608 AD for the purpose of trade. But after 7 years, British got royal order to establish a factory under the leadership of Sir Thomas Ray. So long history there from the timeline. But the British Raj refers to the period of the British rule on the Indian subcontinent between 1858 and 1947. I think this is what was more pertaining to this video. So that was a long period of time. But yeah, man. So thank you so much, Narendra, for this video. It's very informative. I learned a lot of cool information about the history of it. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for the recommendation in the comments. Please let me know in the comments how's the corona situation and quarantine in India. I'll be curious to know about that. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe and peace until the next video.